Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something very strange, sort of a surreal exploration game called Kid the Cat by developer Ado. And I honestly don't really know what to expect from this one other than that picture on the title screen is a little frightening. I mean, let's just get out right into the open here. I don't understand what exactly that cat is doing there, but it seems to have a body that's made up of a bunch of cardboard boxes, and I don't know if it's okay. I don't know how to feel about anything, to be perfectly honest. Let's look at our credits very quickly. All right, so there's that, and our options. We've actually got some UI elements here, which is more than I'm used to with a lot of simple Unity games. We're going to actually crank this sucker up to 90, because I know that is sort of optimal for most of this stuff. Our resolution says that it's running at 1920 by 1080, when I don't believe it is. There's actually a launcher on all Unity games that asks you what resolution you want, and I always set it to 720 windowed. And, okay, well, let's just go ahead with things. So our command is to find the cat. I just saw a little hint of what could have been a cat going around that corner, but let's, we found that cat anyway. So what are we looking at here? We've got some sort of very rudimentary looking little bunker almost, with no ceiling. And I want to see if we can get a look around, if we can stand up on this table. So it looks like there's a little bit of a dungeon sort of thing going on with a bunch of bookshelves. And, of course, default Unity skyboxes, and we're not surprised by that anymore. And we can actually see through all the objects when we get close enough to them. The camera seems to clip through the walls a little bit, and that's okay as well. I'm kind of used to that happening sometimes, too. So we keep finding these little cat icons. I don't know if those are helpful or useful in any way. Maybe they lead up to us finding the actual cat. We will see as we continue around. We've got some very trippy music playing. I don't really know any better way to say it. It's just sort of a bunch of jingly-jangly sounds and a synth with a zoopy kind of sci-fi sound going by. I don't really know what that's making me feel other than maybe a little bit nervous, but probably in a good way. I think it's the combination of the music and also picturing what happened to that cat and why it seems to be stretched out like that makes me kind of wonder what's going on here. There's something maybe a little bit sinister, hopefully not horrifying, going on in this particular thing. And I also don't know what to make of the title, Kid the Cat. Are we... Oh, we found the cat! Wait, can I get a better look at the cat before we walk into it? Just checking to see if there's like a duck. Doesn't seem to be. Well, we can at least walk around to the other side of the cat and see if there's any... No? Alright, well, we walked into the cat, so there we go. Okay, now we're being commanded to find our friends, and I suppose this is when we enter into the world of whatever's going on here. So there's our cat that I guess we found. I kind of just feel bad for him. I don't know what happened here. This is a very strange thing. Also, there's a little bit of maybe unintentional iconography, as I see in the shadow behind it. It almost looks like a cross, like a grave marker. I don't know if that's what we're after here, but some strange thing has led to this. Oh. Okay, it's a cat moped, I guess, with dynamic shadows, which is pretty cool. So I guess now we can walk a little bit faster, and finding the cat was just sort of like our Jake the dog, I suppose, to this formula. We needed the cat to be able to traverse this environment more effectively. So now we're going to find our friends. And there seems to be a 0 over in the corner of the screen. I believe that 0 is going to be our counter of how many friends we've found. At least that's the logical thing that seems to occur to me. And we do actually have some very crisp-looking shadows that seem to be showing up on the top of our cat moped. So that's just one nice thing to note. Pretty sure most of this stuff is fairly default Unity stuff. These trees, probably, and the terrain and textures, I suppose. I think I've seen most of these before anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I've seen quite a few Unity-style terrain maps and quite a few Unity trees, and I think they often look quite familiar to this. And then we've got this character here, who I'm not sure what his deal is. Kind of looks like a sad zombie from Minecraft a little bit with MS Paint eyes or something. So we're going to walk into him, and now we've got one friend who has been recruited to our cause. I'm not sure what the story is behind this game, but it seems like it would be a lot of fun to try and come up with one, right? Oh, we found another friend. So, like, we had to go find the cat in this strange dungeon complex so we could then ride on the cat moped to then recruit our friends across this giant field. What are we going to do after this, though, is the question. Where do we go from here? I mean, I feel like we've already hit pretty high in this game, and I'm not sure where there's still room to grow from here. Also, there's some trees, like, up in the edges of these mountains, which is making me a little uncomfortable. You can get a better look at this, perhaps. Oh, and of course, there's a friend up there, too. I don't actually know how many friends we're supposed to find, but I'll do my best. Is this where we started, actually? I think it may... No? I thought there was, like, a little cliff side to that. No, I think that is actually it. Yeah, it's always weird when you see the edges of these brushes or these tree shapes. They always seem to have some part of it that's like not quite intersected with the ground properly, and I think it's due to the fact that a lot of times when people place trees, they auto-populate using a specific tool, which just sort of takes whatever shape you want and just places it distributed however you like, amongst probably, I would assume, a specific texture, because they don't seem to be appearing on this the path in the center. Or maybe you go back and you delete them off the path later. I don't know, if it was me personally, I would probably go through and I would probably hand place most of the trees, or I would lay down like a base level of the trees and then I would go and hand place a bunch myself, although that might have been what this developer has done. I am not sure. But there's something very appealing about the idea of just creating a game where you just kind of wander around and see what the sights are, and I don't know, I would have a hard time just letting things rest with just a bunch of trees and hills. I would want to have like a bunch of little weird things that you could discover as we made our way around what seems to be a rather large and expansive environment. You know, Unity seems to handle draw distance fairly well. I mean, as we look away from where these trees are right now, I'm just trying to get a good shot that maybe we could tell what's going on. Well, I can see, first of all, that the trees seem to kind of rise up into existence some of the time, and I'm not sure how you feel about that. But as far as, like, view distance fog, things are not that bad. I mean, we can see a very good distance, and this is probably much further than we would need to most of the time anyway. Unless maybe we were driving a jet or something and shooting across the landscape at 100,000 miles an hour or something. Oh, I found all my friends. Oh no. What happens now? Alright, well, we've taken the concept of a skybox quite literally with this one. I think I'm being drawn toward the cat head in the sky. That's terrifying. Is this the Rapture? Am I being forcibly removed from my home? Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting to see that the size of this landscape was actually not quite as large as I thought it was. But from the ground perspective... Oh, God! That's terrifying. What is up with this poor cat? This cat deserved much better treatment. We're going into its eye. I'm betting this is going to be the end of us, isn't it? Are we going to make it out of this one alive? Is there going to be more to see? We'll find out in 10 more seconds, I guess. What's going on here, man? I can't control anything, by the way, in case you were wondering. Oh, okay. It's fading now. The end. Oh. Well, that's sad. Still not quite sure what to make of all of that. That was very surreal and very strange. So all of the friends that we've found seem to be standing over the cat that we were looking for, and he appears to not be very alive at this point, and that's not good at all. So maybe there was some symbolism and intentional iconography in what appeared to be a grave marker on the cat moped. I am very, very hard-pressed to come up with any kind of conclusions to draw from this story, but I would love to hear the ones that you have. If you have any theories, feel free to posit them in the comments, and I will read all of them as I always do. What on earth did we just play? I'm so confused. Anyway, that was one of those Unity games that I run into on occasion, and sometimes they're pretty wild. Well, usually they're pretty wild. Sometimes they're more enjoyable than other times. I do enjoy those sort of exploration games. I usually like to come away with a little bit more in the totality of the experience than we may have here. But still, you know, if it's this developer's one of their first games, A, for effort, for, you know, getting in and working on some stuff, I think this could be a good foundation. But, you know, let's see where we go from there, I suppose. And at the very least, we got to have a wild and confusing ride leading to something that we can discuss in the comments, I think, is where we're going to take that. So thank you, everybody, for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like on it. There are new episodes of Indie Impressions going up every single day, so if you're interested, come on back tomorrow. You can see a new one. Of course, download this game for yourself if you like. Link's going to be in the description, as it always is, as well as my other social media links. If you're so inclined, there is plenty more to see in the series, and plenty more to come, of course, too. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Talk to you later.